Right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our excellent breakfast and brunch. We're going to be focusing on eggs today, so bring all your eggs questions. Um, what we're going to do today is we're going to do actually three different recipes. We're doing the equivalent of the Starbucks egg bites, and I'm going to change it up a little bit so that we can present it in and use whatever ingredients you have. And then Monica is going to show us egg clouds, which is steaming on the varoma as well, right? Are you gonna bake it? You're gonna bake it, aren't you?
Yes, no, we're gonna
Yes.
bake it. Yeah, but bake
Yeah.
it for only like 6 minutes. It's
Which is
really fast.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. It's so fast. And then while we're doing that, we can switch over to make hollandaise in case anyone would like to do that. It's a perfect breakfast for anyone who likes eggs Benedict. And we're going to find something to do with the egg whites. So we're going to go through some of the other options that we have. And so just let's get on with it. Yeah, and is anybody cooking with us today? Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to go
I'm getting ready to cook. I bought eggs.
Fantastic.
I didn't eat
Okay.
breakfast yet. I'm waiting for this.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. And so I'm going to start off. If anyone has got your Cook I Do in front of you, I'm going to share my screen and show you. Oops, where's my Cook I Do? Show you what we're going to be doing today. Share screen. Okay, so these are the recipes that we've got put aside. If you do a quick search on egg bites, you'll find a couple recipes showing up. What we're going to do today is a combination. I've got the coffee shop egg bites, which are the equivalent of what you get at Starbucks. And that one asks for bacon, Gruyere cheese, and 10 large eggs. That's going to make quite a lot. If you do follow this recipe, you're going to have loads to put into the freezer so that you can grab it when on the go for your quick lunches. And then the other one that I like the look of that I'm going to also combine with the cooking today are these egg puffs. Okay, so these egg puffs, they require 2 ounces of Asiago cheese and some parsley. Any kind of green would be fine. And this one, it uses the 7-cup steamer mold. So that's what I'm going to use today. I'm going to pop it into the varoma so I can show you how you can steam your eggs as well. And this is pretty much a half recipe. So it's going to use 4 eggs, and some pancetta. What I have done this morning is I grilled up some bacon. So if you do have any bacon for flavoring, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Thermomix. I've sent the egg puffs into the TM6, which is connected to the internet, and we're going to start cooking there. So start cooking. Right, so I've got these silicone egg white molds, and if anybody is wondering where you can get them, these are actually the egg bite molds that they sell for the Instant Pot, and you can steam them. It's silicone. I bought these at Canadian Tire for $15. Really good deal. You can make lots of lunches with that, especially for the children as well. And you can pop all kinds of things in there. I've already greased them. It says grease it with unsalted butter. I had some bacon fat this morning after grilling the bacon, and I thought, why not? Okay, and then it asks you to scrunch up some parchment paper so that we can use it to cover. It actually comes with its own cover. So when I'm steaming it, this is going to stop the droplets from getting into the eggs. Next, Right, so we're going to put cheese, 2 ounces of any type of cheese, and some parsley. So I have cheddar, and I have some Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to put some, and this is just to show you that it's really, really easy to grate cheese in your Thermomix. And here you go. I'm just going to go back here. 2 ounces of cheese, any type, it says. And oh yes, it asks to put some parsley in there, but I'm going to sprinkle some spring onions afterwards so that it looks pretty, but you can put parsley in there as well.
I like the flavor of the green onions too.
Yeah, I like that
Green
too.
onions is better.
Green,
Yeah.
green onions would
I'm
give
not
you a
putting
nicer
it
flavor
in.
because I don't really want it to be blended up to really very, very fine, unless you have little people that want to pick it out and you have to hide it or something like that. But other than that, I'm just going to leave it. It says insert measuring cup, and we're going to grate it on speed 7 for 6 seconds. Next, just going to wait for it. So it's grated it up. But what I'm going to do is today I want to add in, I've got some cheddar cheese that I'd like to put in there as well. So I'm going to put, it didn't say to take it out, but I'm going to put, how many grams of cheese again? Hello. 2 ounces. I'm going to mix in some cheddar because I think it looks pretty. And put in some of the Parmesan. Should use my spoon. And now go back to the other spot. And I'm going to put in 4 eggs. 1. So this is good for about 7 egg cups. 2. 3. 4 eggs. Next, a little bit of pepper. Pinch of pepper. And I'm sure it's going to ask me for salt next. Oh, no, no salt. Measuring cup. And we're going to blend it again, 6 seconds on speed 6. Next, we're going to transfer it to a bowl and set it aside. And it says clean mixing bowl. And the next step it's going to ask for is to cook the pancetta. So I don't need to cook the pancetta today because I've already grilled the bacon. So I'm going to go into the recipe detail, which is the 3 dots beside it, and jump to the next step, which is we put some water in the mixing bowl, and then we're going to put it all into the varoma. So how many of you have used the steamer basket? This is the varoma. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pour in the 8-bite mixture. Oh, pancetta. Crispy bacon. I've crisped up some bacon, and I've also cooked some mushrooms in there. So what I'm going to do is just to pop in some bacon. I'm even going to be a little bit lazy.
And now you can be creative. You can add
Now you can be
breaded
creative.
chicken, tuna, some more veggies, olives might be good too. some more
I
herbs,
like that
whatever,
idea.
whatever you like to give it some flavor. Some fried tomato, so many options that you can use to give.
Also great for using leftovers. Like if you cook dinner and you have
Great.
leftover costumes and stuff.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
perfect
Oh,
for
great.
using leftovers, right?
Yeah,
All you need is
absolutely.
just to blend up your cheese and eggs.
Yes.
And I'm just going to pour it into these egg bites. And I'm going to get it to steam for 16 to 18 minutes in the silicone egg bite maker. And then Monica is going to show us cloud eggs. So let me just pour this in here. I've got the bacon all blended up in the egg mixture already.
Jenny, did
And
you
then
say you use turkey bacon?
I did.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
excellent. Great idea. Thank you.
I grilled the bacon ahead of time. But if you haven't done that, the recipe asks you to put the bacon in the Thermomix mixing bowl, and then it actually fries up the bacon for you. It takes a couple of minutes, but we're going to do this quickly. So I've pre-grilled the bacon. And as somebody else was saying just now, it's a perfect way of using leftovers. You can use leftover chicken, shredded. You can have olives. And so now I'm going to throw in a little bit of the spring onions to make it look pretty when it's finished steaming. And then we'll put it into the steamer. I've got another Thermomix over there with hot water all ready to go. And I'm going to set it to 18 minutes and check it at 16. Okay, and that's it. We'll come back and have a look at it afterwards. Monica, on to you.
So does it have a lid? This little
Yes, yes, it does. So the recipe asks for you to put parchment paper on top of it. If you don't have a lid, then you can put parchment paper. Before I found this mold, I used to use muffin, silicon muffin tins, and that would totally work as well because I've got little heart-shaped ones, and that's very pretty. So there you go. It's all filled. And I'm going to put the lid on. See? Pop it on top, and it fits perfectly into the bottom of the varoma.
That's so convenient. I'm gonna
grab
this mold for me too.
What's that? Canadian Tire, you said?
Yes, Canadian Tire, $14.99.
I'm going there today.
Great. So on to you, Monica. I'm going to spotlight you.
Thank you, Jenny. I love this recipe, and I love the idea of steaming the egg puffs, because when you bake it, they create a little crust. That for me, I like the crust when it's a muffin, a cake, but on my egg bites, I like it. I like it better when they are steamed. They have a soft surface, which I prefer personally. So now I'm making the cloud eggs, which is a fantastic recipe in the cook I do. It's super easy to make, but it's still quite impressive. So you have to start by preheating your oven to 450 Fahrenheit. My oven is hot already. So next, you're lining a baking tray. Let me put my camera like this so I'll show you. Line a baking tray and spray some olive oil. I'm not using olive oil here on the spray. I will use my brush, but first I'll start with the egg whites. So I will put my butterfly inside. How many of you have used your butterfly? So just put the butterfly inside. It's important that the Thermomix bowl is dry and clean and free from any grease. So I already separated 4 eggs. I have 4 egg whites here. I'll put it in. And a pinch of salt.
I have a question.
Yes.
Regarding the cloud eggs, they're just made with egg whites?
Yes, just
Oh,
egg white.
that's great. That's great.
And
If
I
somebody's on a
season
health-
with salt.
Okay, oh good. If somebody's on a hard, healthy diet, that is perfect just to be the egg whites. Can you do the other eggs that Jenny was doing just with egg whites too? The sous vide?
No, the egg whites, I'm using only egg whites now for the beginning of the recipe, but I use the egg yolks. I'll pour the egg yolks on top of the clouds. You can serve the egg yolks for some veggies, like to get the same look. You can use roasted a sweet potato or roasted pumpkins. There's some tips on the bottom of the recipe that will guide you if you not want to have the egg yolks.
Excellent. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
So I'll just put the lid on, and for 3 minutes, I will make my egg white super puffy and for me to bake. So now I'm using my olive oil. I'll just pour a little bit, and I'll make 4 circles of olive oil here. So I'll pour my egg whites after. So if you have the olive oil spray, you can use it. Otherwise, you can just use the brush as I'm doing. The recipe asks you when you separating the eggs, the egg whites from the egg yolks, that you will put each egg yolk in one separate container. I just use 2 containers, so I have 2 egg yolks in each container here. And after these 3 minutes, what I'm going to do, I'll pour the egg whites here, and I'll create a little hole on it, and I'll pour the egg yolk. So if you like your egg yolk runny, you bake the egg whites first for 3 minutes, and then pour the egg yolk and bake for another 3 minutes. If you like it more, it's not too hard, but it's creamier, you bake all together for 6 minutes. It makes a delicious egg yolk and a nice texture, not too dry, but it's still cooked and nice. And the egg white creates a little brown on the corners. It's quite impressive recipe, I might tell you. The other day I made for breakfast on a weekend, and the boys are like, whoa, this is fancy. But it's so easy to make, so easy. So you have 3 minutes now that you can put your toast to prepare the plates. I'm actually serving this as a traditional Brazilian for brunch. So rice, beans, tomato, and eggs. So I still have 50 seconds to go. The recipe also asks for you to use some parsley on top. So I'll just chop my parsley here to be ready.
Also, if you want to impress your guests, Monica, when you guys come over, I'll make an impressive brunch with the Thermomix. I'll make your cloud eggs.
What did you say?
To impress your guests, if you make the cloud eggs or the eggs that Jenny's making, they're gonna go, wow. Meanwhile, it's like super easy. It's awesome.
And these are the best recipes, isn't it? When the recipe is easy to make, but it impresses.
And they're also nutritious. You know, it doesn't involve lots of oils. It's great.
Yeah. And even now that we are all cooking from home and eating our own food, it's nice when you can make something beautiful for yourself and just sit in front of a beautiful plate of food, right? So now, look at this. 3 minutes, and my egg whites are beautiful, like a cloud. So I'll just take off my butterfly. I'll just like to get rid of the eggs that are in there. And I'll pour, creating 4 little bowls here. Try to divide it in similar quantities. It is easy. I like to divide here on the walls of my Thermomix and then pour it down. Can you see what I'm doing? A little bit more. This?
That's beautiful. It's like a souffle, right? You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna have all these egg whites. Laura, you had a question just now about whether or not we can replace egg whites in the egg bites, and I think
Yolk.
we can do that. Yeah, to replace the egg yolks with egg
Yes.
whites, and I certainly think you can do that.
Yeah.
That you'd just be steaming egg whites instead of full eggs.
Okay. Thank you, because that makes a huge difference for people that are on a low cholesterol diet, and that's really handy. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I think it would look really pretty. And if you do want to increase the protein level of that, there's the cheese, and you can choose different types of cheese as well.
Yes.
And I have also in the past put little pieces of tofu in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I do like
because
tofu.
the recipe is very similar, and we're going to look through that afterwards. It's very similar to the chawanmushi recipe that is in the Cook I Do as well. So if you've ever been to Japanese food, they have little cups of steamed egg, and they may put like a little piece of prawn in it, for example, and little bits of spring onions and all. So you can do it in small ramekin cups as well, if you have ramekins.
Yes, I do have some. Yeah.
So
can they go inside the varoma, the basket?
Oh yes.
Oh,
I have these ramekins, and sometimes what I do is I have you know, when you get prosciutto,
yeah,
you can align it with some prosciutto in the bottom of this.
Oh.
And then it will, let me just see how many it will take, okay? I think
love
you can
prosciutto.
see, you can put 4 of them.
Okay, excellent.
4 of
Thank
those
you.
ramekins in there, put a prosciutto in there, and then add your eggs and steam it. So you can do it the same way as your egg bites, the same mixture, and just add it in. And today I didn't add that much stuff, but other things that you can add in would be like tomatoes and, you know, shredded zucchini. And I would say, look at those beautiful little, like a volcano, hey? Monica.
Jenny.
Yes, I'll bring the camera closer here so I can.
That's beautiful.
So what I just did, I created little balls, and I make an indent in here using my spoon like this. So it has to be deep, so, and all the walls around it, so you can pour the egg yolk in here. And that's what I'm going to do one by one. I'll wet one here and one here. It's super cute. So this is because I want it to be cooked like creamy egg yolk. If you like it runny, you bake the egg whites for 3 minutes, and then you pour the egg yolks for another 3 minutes. So some salt and pepper on top. Super charming. I love this.
That's pretty.
It's a good, easy recipe to impress. I like to use flake salt for this.
That is so lovely.
You can feel the texture of the salt. And I will put my timer on and bake it for 6 minutes. So don't go longer than 6 minutes. And I'll show you the result in 6 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Monica. We'll come back and have a look at it. I still have 7 minutes on the egg bite steaming. So I'm going to check it in about 5 minutes, but in 5 minutes, we can do something else.
Yeah.
And what can we do here? Cancel, yes. I'm going back to my week, and what we're going to do is hollandaise sauce. And this is a really amazing hollandaise sauce, especially if you have a TM6. If you don't have the TM6, there are hollandaise sauces available for TM5 as well as TM31. The one that we're going to do is a really simple, throw everything in there and go have a shower and come back for your hollandaise sauce recipe.
Yeah.
So do find a different recipe if you have a TM5 or a TM31. It's pretty much the same ingredients. So what you need is 10 grams of water, and this recipe requires, again, the butterfly. So we're actually showing you a couple of recipes today that use all these accessories. You use the butterfly as well as the steamer basket. So the next thing I'm going to put in is 10 to 20 grams of lemon juice. How many of you have made what do you call hollandaise sauce from scratch? Yeah. And it could be a little bit nerve-wracking when you're doing it from scratch because it's very easy to split it, and then all of a sudden you get scrambled eggs in a butter instead of just, you know, creamy hollandaise sauce. So this one, it will ask you for quite a lot of butter, 150 grams of butter cut into pieces, which I'm going to put in. And there are some recipes that ask you to just melt the butter and then drop the butter in one by, or put the butter in a piece by piece. So there are a couple of different recipes here. And 4 egg yolks. This recipe is one line. You know, step 1, put everything into the bowl and turn on the emulsifier. That's pretty much it. Next, a bit of salt and a bit of pepper. 1 to 2 pinches of pepper to your taste. Next, insert the measuring cup into the lid. And then 12 minutes, that's approximately 12 minutes, because when you use the TM6, it adjusts it on its own, depending on, I think it's dependent on the resistance of the blades inside. At 80 degrees, 12 minutes, 80 degrees, and blend. That's pretty much it for making hollandaise in the TM6.
This is actually funny, actually.
It kind of feels a little bit embarrassing to say I'm showing you a recipe because there really isn't anything else to it. But here we go. We can actually talk about the different ways that you can make hollandaise. So I want to show you again. We'll go back to the Cook I Do and do a search on hollandaise. Share screen. And going back to sharing my screen. Right, we are back at our Cook I Do. I'm going to log in. So it's cookido.ca for anybody who's new to the Cook I Do community and the recipe platform. I'm going to type in, as you can see, I've already typed in hollandaise. We're going to search. Because we're in Canada, it's going to be in French and English. You can actually turn this off, or you can also go in here and filter. If anyone has ever used a filter, you can filter by Australian, Canadian, US recipes. You can change the language depending on which language you would prefer to use. So here we have 27 hollandaise results. So ways of using your hollandaise sauce. There's with poached steak here, with salmon and asparagus in this other recipe here, asparagus and hollandaise tart. There's even a keto lemon hollandaise. So the one that we're using today is this one here. It's for the TM6 and it serves 2 to 4. But there are other recipes. Let's have a look at this one here. And this recipe here, if you have a look, it says to melt the butter in the Thermomix for 4 minutes. This recipe can be used for TM5 or TM6. You melt the butter for 4 minutes and then put it aside in a jug. Insert your butterfly and then add the water, the lemon juice, the egg yolks, exactly what I just did just now, and set it to 2 minutes at 160 degrees. And there is actually a metric one for this as well. And then while you're doing that, you just drizzle the melted butter all along the side of the lid, and it will drip in a perfect consistency to get you your perfect creamy consistency, because the butterfly is going to be in there whipping it up as your butter comes down. And that should take about 6 to 8 minutes as well.
My egg cloud is ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing here. That's fast, hey?
It's so pretty. Look at this.
Oh my gosh!
Look
So
at
now you want some hollandaise sauce to go over
Wow.
it. That's so pretty.
That would be great. So I prepared a little fancy plate here with my rice and beans.
Egg, rice, and beans.
Just use a spatula.
Hold on for a minute, Monica. I am going to take a picture, shall I? Perfect.
And also some pretty tomatoes. And one olive. And there you have it.
What a
quick
lovely breakfast and brunch.
Yum.
It's yummy.
Yum, yum, yum.
Monica.
So I'll cut it for you to see how it looks on the inside. And bring it closer. Look at this. When you cut it, you still have the running.
Oh
egg.
my.
Look at
That
this. This is so
so
delicious. It's delicious with bread, with some vegetables, some asparagus, and hollandaise sauce. Oops.
That's what you need the hollandaise sauce for, hey?
Yes. But I got my beans here. You do the job.
Okay. So let me take this out. Yum. That looks wonderful. So my egg bites are done as well. So I've just taken it off. Let me show this to you. Ooh, it's hot. Actually, I think I can hold it. Have a look at that. See that?
Oh, it looks great.
This would be a mold for the volcano chocolate cakes as well.
Yes, I think this would be great. This would be great for muffins and things like that. So you see how it's actually set really nicely, but there's a little dimple. So it's going to continue cooking and it's not overcooked. So that's really nice because that you can see that there's just a little bit of a movement in the top when I move it around. So I'm just going to use a little spatula and tip one out so you can see. And I'm just putting the spatula along the side because it seems to quite easily come off the edges. And I'm going to see whether I can actually remove one or whether I have to tip everything out.
Yeah, maybe it would be better if you wait for them to cool down.
Yeah, I think I might have
Yeah.
to cool down just a little bit more.
Because they are just too soft, right?
They are actually not too bad. Look, if I move it, you see one of them moving. So the inside is still quite tender, so it's not overcooked. I think I might be able to tip it, the whole thing up. I've got a bowl here. Shall we try it?
Yeah, let's go.
Tip it upside down. Give everything a little wiggle. Like that. I think everything should be out. Except for this little guy.
I love the idea of having something ready to grab and go in the freezer.
Oh, this is so beautiful. I want you to have a look at that. I'm going to see if I can tip it. Have a look at these guys. Aren't they beautiful?
Yes.
And if I tip them one up here, upside down, this way, that's how it looks.
Beautiful.
So it's just cooked. And how many of them should I put in here? I think I might be able to have, and there's 4 eggs in here, right? So I'm going to put 2 of these in here and surround it with some chopped tomatoes and my spring onions. I'm not sure where my spring onions, oh, I know where it is. Put them on the side. Got a little bit more cheese that I can sprinkle on. And I'm just going to wait for the hollandaise to get done to pop it into my bowl.
Oh, Jenny, this looks so beautiful. Yum.
It's quite a simple breakfast.
Yeah.
But
one more
you
thing
can
about
freeze these.
The hollandaise sauce, when you look on Hokkaido, you can see how many portions the recipe makes. But down there on the tips, you can add or reduce the amount. Usually for recipes like a hollandaise sauce, we will have the information for you how to change it and to adjust to that quantity. Since it's so easy to make, and a hollandaise sauce is a thing that is better when fresh made, so you can adjust.
That's true. So I'm going to show you pouring it out.
Look at this.
That's my eggs, the egg bites. Perfect. Perfect hollandaise.
Delicious.
There you go.
Oh, this is so delicious. Jenny, would you do us a favor to post the recipe for the egg bites that you use on the chat? There are people.
Absolutely.
You can get the link.
So
the
can...
recipe that I made is just one. Look for egg cloud and you see.
And I'm going to do the egg puffs.
Oh, egg puffs, not egg bites.
Yeah, egg puffs. And because that's the instruction for steaming. Let me show you the recipe again. This one here for anybody who's looking for it. You see that? They're egg puffs. So really what we've done today is I've changed the recipe depending on what is in the house. So, you know, you can change the pancetta, use a different protein, and your eggs and the cheese, you can change to a different cheese. You can use cottage cheese. You can use, what I used today was a combination of cheddar and Parmesan cheese. And then, you know, you can always make it vegetarian as well. If you're going to add some mushrooms to it, you can use parsley instead of spring onions. It's so much stuff you can do with it and change it around. And I was thinking that if I had some leftover zucchini, I can shred some zucchini and pop it in there as well so that it's more substantial. Okay,
Good
great.
stuff.
Let's
Jenny.
see. That's that again.
Good
All
stuff.
right. Good. Let's I'm going to go off spotlight and see if anybody has questions.
Feel free if you have a question to unmute yourself, or if you prefer to type your question.